Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable senators. Senator Boni, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, so much. Mr. Speaker, the violence, the inability for leaders to work together in Meru is not new. What is new will be how we shall manage it. It happened in Makwiny. Professor Kibuda Kibwana was treated in exactly the same way that Governor Kawira Mwangaza is being treated. And he ended up being the best performing governor in the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, the only thing we got from the impeachment of Nairobi was to be settled with a debt of 250 million shillings for the Green Park terminal that has never been used, that will never be used. Impeaching governors is not always the best solution. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kiambu, the second richest county in this republic, lost 5 years because this Senate was in a hurry to respond to political feelings outside the Senate, and they brought problems in Kiambu for 5 years. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to lawyers of the Republic of Kenya. When you are a lawyer, it doesn't mean you are everything. I have listened to the presentation of Dr. Tiangulu, my own friend, about the evidence of IFMIS. I'm shocked, completely, Mr. Speaker, and as the longest-serving chairman of public accounts in the Republic of Kenya, I can confirm that I know IFMIS. Mr. Speaker, if you indulge me, no IFMIS report comes out with one transaction, impressed, up to the end. No. IFMIS report, Mr. Speaker, comes out with what was spent on interest and what was spent on other expenses. And Mr. Speaker, everything that comes out on IFMIS does not turn out to be genuine. There is something at the end of IFMIS, Mr. Speaker, where the IFMIS report rejects. Mr. Speaker, if we go by that report without subjecting this to an audit report.
Your time is up. Your time is up, Senator Boni. You're off record. You're off record. Senator Kavindu. Order. Order, members. Order, members. Order, member. Order, Senator Boni. Order. Senator Boni, kindly take your seat. Order. Order, honorable senators. Order. Senator Boni, Senator Mundigi.
That dreams if we do not stand and to be counted. What I've witnessed today, Mr. Speaker, is this Senate being reduced into being an internal audit. Mr. Speaker, the lawyers presented something which negates the Public Audit Act Section 31, which is quite clear on the process of audit. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 228, Section 5 is very clear. It says the controller of budget shall not authorize any withdrawal of funds from the county revenue fund unless she's satisfied that that withdrawal is authorized by law. Mr. Speaker, sir, we've been entertained by a charade of just nuendos. There was nothing that you can be able to prove. I am I'm a ranking member of the Senate Public Accounts Committee, and I know the process. I know what IFMIS is. I know the PFM Act, Section 103, establishes a county treasury, and he puts in the treasurer or the CMC as the head of that fund. Mr. Speaker, sir, I sat down here, and to be honest with you, when I watched those videos, something came to my mind. And I said, you know what? That conference of 1885 in Berlin conference was ill-advised. The British should have just left us with uncouth and civilized behaviors. To see a honorable member, someone who calls himself a honorable member, walking across the streets of our civilized nation, what we call civilized, and saying that certain weapons or certain tools should be used to be able to punish a woman. It's uncouth and uncivilized, and shame on them. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have gone through the 7 allegations, and none of them, Mr. Speaker, sir, has been substantiated. We are being introduced, we are being invited, Mr. Speaker, sir, to get into a conflict of manhood and womanhood. Mr. Speaker, sir, I second the sentiments of the majority leader when he said that it's about time that if these leaders of Meru cannot get their act together, we might as well call a commission of inquiry to suspend that county. It is ridiculous, Mr. Speaker, sir, and we cannot allow this Senate to be reduced to that. Mr. Speaker, sir, we should know better.
Senator Nyamu.
Of a governor under Article 181 on gross violation of the Constitution and the law, gross misconduct and abuse of office, or where there are serious reasons to believe that the county governor has committed a crime under national or international law. Mr. Speaker, my expectation from the county was to meet a case that demonstrates this particular standard that has been set by the Constitution. Now, there is one telling thing that came from the submissions of counsel, my good friend Thiankolu, that in fact the motivation of the MCAs does not matter. I want to try and persuade this House that motivation is everything. The reason why human beings do things is absolutely critical to the doing of those things. Mr. Speaker, because what motivation does, it sets a goal for you, and then you look for a means to get to that particular goal. We have seen the evidence that has been laid here demonstrate clearly that a decision was made that Kawira Mwangaza had to go as a governor of Meru. And then steps and plans were put in place to be able to meet that particular goal. And that is something that I cannot abide as a senator sworn to protect the interests of counties. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to 2 analogies that have, been used quite extensively by the team from the county assembly. One, Mr. Speaker, is the analogy of the scorpion and the frog. I do not think anyone can ascribe the innocence of the frog in that particular analogy to the county assembly of Meru. At the very minimum, it is a scorpion being carried by a crocodile on its back, because both animals are extremely dangerous from the evidence that we have seen here. Mr. Speaker, secondly, it is this much repeated song by Shaggy called It Wasn't Me. In fact, in that particular song, council forgot that there was a collabo. There's another gentleman who's singing in that song as well. That gentleman says, I was caught live. There are photos. There is evidence. That is what we expected from the county assembly. In the evidence of the photos of this gentleman on the counter, in the shower, as the council sang, Mr. Speaker, it is difficult for me to get behind the case by the county assembly. I rest my case.